We're going to call to order the Historic Preservation Board for February 4th, 2020. Okay, first item up would be roll call. Mr. Simmons.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I'd like to introduce to the board the newest member. This is our first meeting, Elizabeth Hawk. I believe she works at UF and...
Great.
I work at the College of Design, Construction, and Planning.
Okay.
So welcome aboard, and I'm noting that you are here. Elizabeth Hausauer.
Here.
Kyra Lucas.
Present.
Danielle Massey.
Here.
Michelle Hazen indicated she wouldn't be here because of a late awards ceremony.
Okay.
Bill Warner.
Here.
Nicole Nesberg.
Here.
Jay Reeves.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Simmons. Next item up would be adoption of the agenda.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Second.
Aye.
I believe Kira, did you second? Aye.
Okay, opposed? All right. Mr. Simmons, the announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Section 30-3.5 of the Land Development Code establishes the Historic Preservation Board, including its composition and duties and authority. The Historic Preservation Board procedures are set forth in Section 30-4.28G of the Land Development Code. Appeals of Historic Preservation Board decisions are to the City Commission and must be filed within 14 days from the date the decision by the Historic Preservation Board is reduced to writing and served by certified or registered mail. The appeal procedure is specified in Section 30-4.28G of the Land Development Code.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Simmons. Next item up, request to address the board for an item that's not already on the agenda.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
we have, I passed out the January minutes,
Minutes.
so we do have
We do have those.
revised agenda, approval of minutes for, it says for December 2019 and January 7th. I don't know if the December minutes are in your backup, but I did pass out the January
Okay.
2020 minutes.
Okay, so we don't know if we have the December minutes?
Oh, are they,
No, they're not.
they're not,
I don't see
okay.
them.
These say December 3rd.
So these are the December ones and we don't have the January?
At the top, it
Those
says
are,
December
yeah,
3rd.
those are the.
They do say
Those are
December
the
3rd, yeah.
January minutes. That's just a.
Okay.
Okay.
Move to approve the January minutes.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right. That brings us to request to address the board for an item that's not already on the agenda. Anyone? Okay. All right, Mr. Simmons, that brings us to old business, which we don't have any of, and it's new business. Ms. Thomas.
Petition HP 20-3, Joyce E. Bono, owner. Ad valorem tax exemption for construction of masonry walls on the east and north property lines with a fence on the northeast corner. Add awnings on the front and rear, reconstruct a freestanding garage, and interior remodeling for an existing single-family dwelling. Located at 719 Northeast 5th Street. This building is contributing to the Northeast Residential Historic District. It's also related to petition HP 18-00107. Like the remote is missing.
Chairman, board members, Jason Simmons, Planning and Development Services. The subject property, there's a related petition, HP-18-107, which the board reviewed back in, I guess, late 2018. That was a COA for most of the exterior work that has already started and some of which is already finished. So that part of the ad valorem process has been reviewed and approved by this board. But there's also extensive interior work that's proposed or starting. So with the extensive renovation, the applicant determined to apply for the ad valorem tax exemption for the overall project, including the exterior work that's already been approved and the interior work, which we generally don't review as part of our daily review of projects unless it's part of an ad valorem tax exemption proposal. So the property's here, 719 Northeast 5th Street. It's about 0.14 acres in size. It's got single-family zoning. This is the view of the house from the front. You see the stucco exterior. That's the view from Northeast 6th Street. It's a one-story Mediterranean revival, about 1,473 square feet in size. These pictures are from the previous COA, basically. Obviously in the duck pond. It's a contributing structure built approximately 1926.
Jason, I don't mean to interrupt, but that's not Northeast 6th Street, it's Northeast 5th Street.
Yes, it is. So, yeah, so ignore the,
Only because I live on 6th.
Okay.
I know the house, it's not on my street.
yeah. Yes, it's 719 Northeast 5th Street.
Okay.
So the view is from 5th Street looking east. This is also known as the Lewis House. Let's see, it's Mediterranean Revival. Back before, when we reviewed this, the contributing garage structure in the southeast was to be rebuilt because it had been damaged during Hurricane Irma in 2017. The previous owner had received a COA for the partial demolition of the garage. There was some preservation of some of the walls and the archway between the garage and the house. So part of this project that was approved was the restoration of the garage. These are some views of the rear of the property. This is the rear elevation. At the time, they were going to do a metal awning. I think that's now become more of a metal roof structure that's being put in the back here. Then there's just some interior shots. Interior work will include extensive painting, refinishing of certain finishes. The oak floors will be restored. I believe the fireplace and the mantel will be repainted and refinished. Here's some other interior shots. There's a screen porch off the living room. The screens will be repaired and restored. The windows, the original windows, are still in good enough shape to just be fixed up, repainted. The kitchen will, I believe, undergo a complete redo, a complete renovation, taking out the cabinets, the appliances, and everything else, and I guess basically gutting the interior of the kitchen and space, as well as, it's not a shot on here, as well as the existing bathroom in the structure. So the scope of work includes, that was part of the original COA, was they were adding masonry walls on the north and east property lines, including a wood fence adjacent to a tree in the northeast property corner. The wall and fence were 8 feet. That was some point of discussion during the last meeting on this property. Metal bracket to support a tile roof awning over the front door entrance area. Placing a fabric awning over the front window on the front elevation. And the reconstruction of the freestanding garage on the southeast corner of the lot. That was basically the scope of work during the last COA, which dealt with the exterior work. As far as the interior, repainting the interior wall and ceilings, repainting and refinish the fireplace and the mantel, refinishing the oak floors, replace the plumbing and rework the electrical, repair and repaint windows, replace the tile floor of the side porch, and a complete kitchen and bathroom renovation. This was the site plan showing the contributing structure house here. This is the location of the garage, and the rear elevation where the wall would be placed, as well as a wood fence around this tree located here. These were the previous elevations that the board saw back in 2018. There have been some minor changes. These are the current elevations proposed. You see, this is now more of a roof structure instead of an awning over the French doors in the rear. You also see the bridge between the house and the standalone garage. So as far as the ad valorem tax exemption portion is concerned, staff finds that the proposed work meets the Secretary of Interior standards for rehabilitation. The property is eligible for the ad valorem tax exemption because it is a contributing structure in the Northeast Historic District. Section 25-65 authorizes ad valorem tax exemption for historic properties. The board has to find that the improvements are consistent with the guidelines and that the property is a contributing structure, and thus these are all eligible improvements. And staff has made that finding that the proposed improvements are consistent with the guidelines and are eligible improvements. As far as the basis for the staff recommendation, as far as maintaining the historic character of the property will maintain its historic residential use. The architectural features and spatial relationships that characterize the structure and the site and the environment will be maintained. The garage used materials to match the existing house, including the stucco siding. And the rear porch will use stucco walls with a metal roof and arch detail to match the existing structure. As far as the distinctive features, finishes, and construction techniques, or examples of craftsmanship that characterize the property, those shall be preserved. The work will not adversely affect distinctive features, materials, or finishes. The stucco exterior of the house is matched by the reconstructed garage, and the clay tile over the entry door is compatible with the architectural style of the contributing structure. New additions, exterior alterations, or related new construction shall not destroy historic materials that characterize the property. The exterior work that was approved, including the reconstructed garage and the awnings at the time, are compatible with the materials, design, and architectural features of the principal building. So with that, staff recommends approval of HP 20-3 for a Part 1 ad valorem tax exemption based on the following: that the property is an eligible property because it is a contributing structure in the Northeast Historic District, and the proposed improvements are eligible improvements consistent with the Secretary of Interior's guidelines. I'll be happy to answer any questions. I believe the homeowner's here to also answer any questions that you might have.
Bill, you're gonna have to do it since I helped out.
Okay, any questions of staff from the board?
All the modifications and improvements had already been approved by us, and now we're just approving the tax exemption, is that correct?
The interior ones were not approved by the board because
We don't,
you
we don't
don't
do that.
regulate them
But I mean,
unless
like,
it's,
the height
unless
of
it's
these
taxed. And
The
this,
height, yeah, the height of the wall, the 8-foot height of the walls and all.
All
those
that's
things
been
were already
approved, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, any other question? Okay, is there any question or comment from the House? Okay, seeing none, do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to pass petition HP 20-3, in addition to whatever it would link to,
Well, it would be with staff recommendations.
along with staff recommendations. Second.
Second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
okay, and I abstain because I helped out with the project. Okay,
Petition HP 20 K. Richard Blount, owner, certificate of appropriateness for new construction of a single-family dwelling located at 401 Southeast 6th Terrace. This building will be non-contributing to the Southeast Residential Historic District.
Mr. Chairman, board members, as most of you are aware, that this is a contributing structure in the Southeast Residential Historic District that I believe in 2018 had a fire which basically gutted the interior of the structure, leaving behind basically the chert rock walls on the exterior and some of the windows. And the location of the property here on the corner of Southeast 6th Terrace and Southeast 4th Avenue. The property is zoned urban 3, and it's about 0.14 acres in size. These are just some of the current shots of the property. You see the exterior walls are generally still in place, including the chimney. Now, this is the elevation of the original house, or the house that was there. And then here are some other elevations of the original house. Now, the proposal is for a 1.5-story house to be rebuilt on the property. The floor plan would basically stay the same for the first floor, not changing from the original structure. In this scenario, there would be a 1/2-story added on top. It would be a 1.5-story structure, providing an open storage area on the secondary level of the structure. So these are the floor plans which would be applicable. You see the stairs that would go up to the open storage area, and this project would provide, I guess, greater roof height for people to be able to stand up in that second story, or that 1/2 story in the storage area. The house would be approximately 1,450 square feet of enclosed area on the main floor. Again, urban 3 zoning. It would be a 1.5-story structure facing Southeast 6th Terrace, 2 bedrooms and 1.5 bathrooms, with the second level being an open storage area. So as far as meeting the guidelines for new construction in the Southeast Residential Historic District, these are the sort of the findings in the guidelines about the basic, the historic character in that district. Now, the proposal is consistent with the general physical character of the district. The proposal has minimal setback, and it's on an average size lot. The setback isn't changing because they're using the existing chert rock walls, and they're not expanding outward from those walls. The building faces the primary street, which is 6th Terrace. It's wood frame construction with a proposed roof of architectural shingles, a continuous fieldstone foundation, a porch to be supported by brick columns, and the windows will be the 3/1s to match the existing 3/1s that, I guess some of which survived the fire. Here are the new construction guidelines. As far as the rhythm of the street goes, the careful placement of buildings on lots is essential to maintaining the building patterns of each district. The construction here, again, the building walls are not changing, so the construction of this building, a 1.5 story with a compatible setback to other buildings in the area, will maintain the historic rhythm of the street, as the new structure will be compatible in scale and spacing with the adjacent historic contributing buildings. The required front yard setback in urban 3 is 15 to 20 feet from the curb. The applicant is not changing the setbacks of the historic structure, so nothing will change as far as the placement of the building in relation to other buildings on the street or in the area. The proposed new 1.5 story structure is generally compatible with the surrounding historic buildings. There are 2 existing houses to the south of the subject property that are both 2-story structures, which are compatible with the size and scale of the proposed house. The U3 zoning district allows a maximum height of up to 3 stories. As far as the roof forms, they're proposing architectural shingles. That is a consistent style found throughout the district. Porches are strongly encouraged and should have sufficient size to accommodate outdoor furniture and easy accessibility. The proposed new structure maintains the same relationship of the front door entry and porch to the street with adequate space for outdoor furniture. As far as the scale of the building, in the Southeast District as a whole, building scale is relatively small and predominantly residential in nature. The proposed structure is compatible with adjacent structure in terms of massing and size, composition of openings, roof forms, and details to the building mass and its configuration. It's compatible to the existing styles and architectural scale of the district. As far as directional expression, the previous structure had a single rectangular form, and the proposed structure will have the similar rectangular form. Proportion of the front facade. There are a variety of proportional relationships in the district. The new structure has compatible height with structures in the general area and a proposed width that will be the same as the previous structure on the site. So the structure will not be out of scale with structures throughout the Southeast District. The windows shown on the elevations for the new building are compatible with the windows on the previous structure on the property and with other buildings in the vicinity. And so staff's recommendation is the approval of petition HP-20-5 with the following conditions: that the windows utilize the 3/1 grill pattern to match the historic windows. When they've determined which window brand they're going to use, provide cut sheets or information sheets for the chosen wooden windows. The proposal is for wooden windows to replace those that were damaged. Provide information sheets for the proposed architectural shingle roof system, and notify staff of any changes during construction. The applicant is here, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Simmons. Okay, questions from the board?
I have a question, I'm not sure if it's under our purview.
Okay.
You said something about, there were some windows left, and it just looked like this place was gutted. I was wondering if they were still structurally sound, like if you're gonna keep using these windows, if there was any damage to them?
Yes, 19 of the 23 windows on the first level are restorable. So with lots of loving sanding and staining and painting and all that. And then the half story has 4 new windows. My intention is that they are indistinguishable from the original. The 3 over 1 and all of that.
Okay, you could just state your name for the record, too.
K. Richard Blount,
Okay.
How do you spell that? No.
Blount.
Thank you.
We know who you
Any
are.
other questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Yes.
When I'm looking at the drawings,
If I can muddle through the computer here. It says that it says this is option 2, where you're pulling the roof line forward all the way to the front of the house. Is that the one that you're proposing doing?
Yes, yeah.
Or
The
option
first
1?
architect who worked on it, who was very dedicated to historic replication, had it just like the original.
Uh-huh.
But this way, the roof line is continuous from front to back, no drop down over the front section, the living room section.
And is that a window I'm seeing on the north side? It just looks like a cutout in the wall. It doesn't have a window.
On the north side, oh,
think that's the north
that was
side.
doodling of possible future change, but that's not happening now.
So that's
The
just
other-
wall there. There's no window or
Yes.
anything there.
Right.
Okay.
Shingle. Wood shingle, like cedar shingle. Shake.
Brick, isn't it? It's brick.
Is it brick? No, it was I think the upper part of the house, the new part is wood shingle, is that correct?
You talking about the roof or?
The
And
wall.
walls.
I'm thinking hardy board. I want to look like materials in the neighborhood, and I don't know the right names.
I thought it was bricks.
My contractor was gonna be here, but he didn't make it.
Well, and that's kind of an artistic rendering, so.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I'm
even
assuming
this
this is
drawing,
brick
the
down at
walls
the
are
bottom,
fieldstone
right?
instead of chert because it just wasn't in the man's program.
I'd be a lot happier with shake than hard.
I talked
Yeah.
with him about it, and I think we
Okay.
did talk about a hardy shake shingle.
Shake shingle?
Yes.
We like that.
And
But
I'm
that's
just,
still-
I'm
Makes me
just
happier. I
anxious
thought
to
it was
stay
all
in the
brick.
neighborhood because I've been there 30 years and I have wonderful neighbors like these 4 ladies who
Aw.
are here to keep me from fainting. And I'm very, I was really involved in getting the guard in the neighborhood and
Good.
everybody's worked for great changes. I want to stay there for the next
Yeah.
90 years.
But this needs to come from you. What do you want the second floor to be? Because that's, will help the board decide.
Do you mean the exterior finish?
Yeah, the exterior finish on the second floor.
The shake shingle that you told me about, 'cause
Hardy
that sounded
board shake shingle.
hardy shake. I don't know the right terms, but
Yeah,
what you told me about its cost and its appearance is what's.
it'll hold
Right.
paint, and those were the things you were concerned about.
Yes.
But it'll give the appearance of a shake
I
shingle.
want something that doesn't burn or mold or shed paint in 2 years.
Done with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Further-
thanks for talking to your neighbors and bringing your neighbors. That's always so nice. when
Yeah,
somebody
it
takes
is.
the effort.
And thanks to them. Any other?
Any other questions for the board?
I think it's wonderful you're saving all those windows. If you need any weight.
And the rock walls.
Okay.
And the
And-
walls, yeah.
And like in spite of it being a new house, which it essentially is, I mean, it's a good salvage of the historic materials too. I think it's a good compromise.
We've lost a lot of church kids.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
That's why I was excited to see this, because it's still saving the
Yes,
important things
it's
and the
wonderful.
character of the neighborhood.
And when it's finally ready, I'll announce a big neighborhood party,
Barbecue.
big housewarming, house
Okay.
cooling party.
Yeah, no warming.
Potentially not a barbecue.
Yeah.
Are you going to reestablish your library? I know you lost
Oh, yeah. I will be, once I have space again, I will be frequenting the Friends of the Library sale a lot.
Yeah, I for one want to say thank you for bringing forward
Yes.
such a well-done proposal and recognize your former board association and your fact that you're a major contributor to the community.
Thank you. I'd like to be back on that side of the dais, but
Okay. Are there any comments or questions from the audience? Okay. Board?
Move to approve. What's this one? Where are we? Right. Yeah, HP 20-5, with board recommendations.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Go to it. Okay, Mr. Simmons, what staff approvals we have and any informational items?
Not at this time.
Okay, board member comment? Oh,
I guess I just, because someone asked earlier about the Masonic Lodge, I just wanted to bring that up.
sure,
that,
please do.
It was approved by the city plan board. I forget if it was 6-2, 5-2, I can't, 5-2, okay, 5-2. So we did have two that were opposed, but I've just submitted it to our city attorney's office. So now it's the process of them drafting the ordinance. We don't have a date yet, so I don't know when it'll go. We usually don't know. It could be a month from now, it could be 2 months, but once they've completed the draft ordinance, they'll then let us know, and we'll start the process of getting it on the agenda. So as soon as we know when it's going to city commission, we'll let you know. Try to send out an email, because I don't think we did that I don't think we sent a reminder for when it was going to city plan board. And then also, I think someone asked if the deal had fallen through. The representative that was here at I think when it was as an information item, when it came to the Historic Preservation Board as an information item, he was at the city plan board meeting, and he said that the deal did fall through, so.
Okay, thank you for the update.
Oh, and then also another thing, sorry.
Sure.
Just to let you know, our name has changed. I don't know if you've heard, so we will no longer be called the Department of Doing. So if you see emails coming from people that are from some department named Department of Sustainable Development, that's us now.
Department of what?
Sustainable Development. So don't give people any ideas. So I believe it becomes official on the 17th. I believe February 17th.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll hear more jokes, so, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Board member comment, anyone? Okay, next meeting date, March 3rd. We are adjourned. Thank you.